This video is to explain how to do nested for loops or nested loops in general. Okay, so we all know how to do your basic for loop for I in range, whatever it is, say 5, and we have some stuff down here, right? But what if among the stuff that we have in here, there's another for loop? What happens? So here's what we're gonna do. So print. I'm gonna print. Oops. This is the one where I equals that, and we're gonna put I in there, and we're doing a formatted loop, so we'll just put F here. Spelled this wrong. Okay. And then we're gonna print. Well, we're going to put another for loop here for j in range, say it's 3. And we're going to print, here we're going to print j equals, and what is it going to equal? It's going to equal j. Boom, boom. That's another formatted loop. I think we're good. Okay, let's try that. Okay, so here's what happened. It printed, this is one where I equals 0, j equals 0, j equals 1, j equals 2. And then this is the one where I equals 1, j equals 0, j equals 1, j equals 2. This is the one where I equals 2. And so it keeps on kind of going like that. For each I, as I goes up, it does the 3 j's. Okay? And so you can see what's happening here. Okay, so it's going through, so it's going here, it's going into this for loop, it's printing this, and then it's going into this for loop, and it's printing this, and then it does this, whatever is in here 3 times, so it does it again, and then it does it again. Each time j is increasing, so each time j is 0, and then 1, and then 2, right? And then it's going back up here because it's finished this now. So that means it's finished this for loop. So there's no more lines of code under this for, so it's going back up here. And this time so before I was 0, now I is increasing to 1 because this is the next time in the loop. So I is 1, and then we're going to print this out here, and there it is there. And then we're going to do this for thing 3 times again, range 3. And there are those 3, and then it goes back up here. Okay, and this time I increases by 1 again, so now I has gone from 1 to 2. So I is 2, and then it does this, prints the I equals 2, and there it is. And then it does 3 j's again, so there are those, and then it goes back up here, and this time I is 3, and so on until we reach the end of range 5. So that's pretty much how it works. Now you can put like other stuff here if you want. You can put, for example, another print, or whatever you want, some other stuff. You can print something else here. Print more j's, more j's. Let's just and then let's just print a blank line at the bottom here. Like that. Okay, so, oops. That's how the whole thing looks now. So, everything that's indented here is part of my for loop. And so, or everything that's indented here is part of this for loop. But of course, this one happens 3 times, so let's just run it. And so what do we have? Right, we have I equals 0, and then we have, it prints some other stuff. There's that line. Then it does this 3 times. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. Right, so, and we can put whatever we want under this other for loop. We can have it as long as we want. And then it prints a blank line. There's your blank line. Okay, and then it comes back up to here. Now I is 1. Boom, I is 1. And then prints that stuff. There it is, and so on and so forth. What else? So the other thing, the other little cool trick that we have is we can, so right here, so we've gone range 5, and here we've gone range 3, but of course we can put anything we want there. So for example, instead of making this a 3, we can make this into a variable. So what's a variable that is changing all the time? Well, it's I. So we put an I here. Let's just delete this so we can kind of see better what's going on. And let's run it. Okay, so what's happening here? So the first time you run through this, I is 0. So for j in range 0, print this. Well, j in range 0, so we're not going to do anything at all. And you can see where I is 0, it doesn't do anything at all. Next time we come here, I is now 1. So prints that. Here, I is 1. And then I is 1 here. So for j in range 1, we're printing this. So there it is. Then we print that, and there's your blank line there. And then we come back here, and then now I is equal to 2. We print that. There's I equals 2. And then we're going here, and range I is now range 2. So it's going to go do this stuff 2 times now. And here we do see it going through and doing it 2 times. And you can see it keeps on going up 3 times there, 4 times there. So that's another little trick that you can do if you want to. Yeah, like I said, you can put anything in here in the range here that you want. So in this case, we're making it something that is changing every time. So our this loop is also changing every time. So that's a little twist that we can put on it. All right, I think that's all for this video. See you later.